Hey, greetings everyone and welcome to MOSHBITS. If you're new here, then you should know that MOSHBITS is my ongoing series of episodes where I happen to talk a lot about the latest news in tech and gaming. Now I've got a lot of things planned around here, including my playlist of over 15 episodes, so if you happen to like what I do around here, then do consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends because I've got a lot more content planned for you all. Now let's start with the big news, and with the risk of sounding like a broken record to previous viewers, I've been waiting to get my hands on a 3070 since they were initially announced. Now on the 17th of October, it should have been the first time when I could actually try to get my hands on a RTX 3070, and I say try because the whole RTX 30 series launch was a complete utter fiasco. Now you could watch my previous NVIDIA related videos on my channel to see what I'm talking about. Alas, the launch was delayed until the 29th of October, which is right around the corner, but unfortunately the situation isn't looking all too rosy because ProShop, a company which also sells to German customers, just published their 3070 stock, and if you ever thought that 86 of those hot new GPUs would be enough, then I would say think again. Now, the company ordered nearly 4,300 RTX 3070 GPUs and got nowhere close to that number, not even with the 140 confirmed on the way. Now, this is incredibly annoying and certainly doesn't help anybody, I guess not even NVIDIA, and with that being said, let's see if they will indeed switch to TSMC's 7nm production node, as I previously discussed on another MOSHBITS episode. Last we can do until the supply normalizes is to actually look at the AIB partner cards for the 3070, which have started surfacing online together with their stock and boost clocks, and I have to say some of them look better than their 3080 and 3090 counterparts, but are still relatively chungus sized. I mean, look at the Gigabyte Aorus Master or the EVGA for the Win 3, those are huge. Now, I'm curious, if you were in the market for a new GPU, let's say, would you go with AMD's big Navi cards instead? Let me know in the comments below. Speaking of production issues, let's hope that Sony won't have any of those for their upcoming PS5 because analysts are expecting them to sell anywhere between 200 and 300 million units in 5 to 6 years. Compare that to the PS4 sales, which have been around 110 million in 7 years. Now that is a big difference. And that would just remain to be seen in this case, but only if PS4 owners will actually have enough incentives to switch, and same goes for newcomers and people who might actually want to switch from PCs to these new PS5 consoles. I say plural because they do come in two versions, and oh, they also expect Sony to come out with a PS5 Pro. After all, they are becoming more like PCs right now, and Sony has teased even that their fan can dynamically adjust its speed to allow for better cooling. Perhaps this will make the console sound even less like a jet engine, and I know this was an issue with some PS4s. And with regards to their thoughts on the PS5 being the ultimate console, well, I would say that one person saying this doesn't really show much, and I kind of doubt that the PS5 is the ultimate console killer and the box that you want to use. Now, if you're gonna watch my previous MOSHBITS episode, you'll also see that these new consoles can't actually pull the advertised 120 FPS targets that we're talking about, not even in older titles just yet. Note that this isn't the only feature that you might want, but it's really important for esports and for becoming the ultimate console or destination for gaming, I would say. Now let's talk about some mobile chips, because Samsung's upcoming Exynos 9925 might actually be the first to feature an AMD GPU. We've previously heard rumors about it, but now we've gotten even more rumors coming from Ice Universe, trusted leaker by the way, saying that the Exynos 9925 is in the works for 2023. And until then, Samsung is actually planning on releasing its S21 series phones with the Exynos 2100, both of which were covered on previous MOSHBITS episodes, and if you want to learn more about them, then I guess you should go and watch those episodes. Now I'm curious how big of a difference we're actually going to see for those new GPUs on phones, since we're mostly used to Qualcomm's Adreno and ARM Mali GPUs. Now let's keep things mobile and talk about AMD's upcoming 5000 mobile chips called Cezanne and Lucien. The recent leaks from video cards showed the upcoming mobile chips that AMD is planning on releasing, and they're looking hella crisp. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Rather, AMD's chips will start with the 5300U on Zen 2 Lucien and go all the way up to the 5800U on Zen 3 Cezanne. And if I'm butchering those names, I'm really sorry for it. On the lowest end, AMD will be delivering 4 cores and 8 threads with a base clock of 2.6 GHz and up to 3.85 GHz boost, 6 GPU cores at 1.5 GHz and a variable TDP from 10 to 25 watts. At the top of the stack, the 5800U should offer 8 cores and 16 threads at anywhere between 2 and 4.4 GHz, the same TDP range, and 8 GPU cores at 2 GHz. Renoir laptops with the 4700U were already quite compelling for esports titles, being capable of running even GTA 5 and Witcher 3 at 30 FPS. Now, that's not a whole lot, but being able to play them is definitely interesting. If this is anything to go by, then the newer APUs should become rather compelling for both laptop manufacturers and buyers, and I honestly hope that AMD can indeed become more present on the laptop market, since getting an AMD laptop with a 4000 series chip, that's still Zen 2 by the way, is quite difficult, to put it mildly. But let's hope getting our hands on a big Navi card won't be as difficult as it is to get our hands on those mobile chips, or Gaben forbid, on the new RTX 30 series cards, because recent leaks suggest that Navi 21 XT should be able to boost north of 2.3 GHz, which would be amazing. However, these are not for the reference design board, so hold on to your horses right here. Now, this card should outperform the 3070, but it remains to be seen how it will fare against the 3080, or whether AMD is actually preparing its Trojan horse to bust NVIDIA's gate on the 28th of October before their 3070 launch. Speaking of the 28th of October, do make sure to join our crowd Discord server on that day, because we're going to be talking about these new cards and also going to be hosting a watch party, and links to that are going to be in the video description, if of course you want to hear me and Martin talk about those new cards. And now I guess it's time for the nibbles. For the first topic, we've got Clock Tuner for Ryzen, something I've talked about in another MOSHBITS episode that should be on screen right now. This has gotten a major update, so if you wanted to tweak the performance of your Zen 2 chip to get the most out of it, then this tool should definitely be in your arsenal, and you should go and download it right now. Now let's talk about SIDEQUEST, because they've been getting a lot of new users lately now that the Oculus Quest 2 has launched. At 300,000 users, this is far more than the company used to normally do, so let's hope this is a step in the right direction. I personally love SIDEQUEST, and I've even talked about them on a previous MOSHBITS episode. I think I even had them in a video title at some point, so if you've got a Quest, then go and give them some love. Speaking of high numbers, Apple is allegedly planning to ship quite a lot of iPhone 12 devices, with reports claiming up to 80 million units this year alone. If that sounds impressive, then don't forget that the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus managed to get into the hands of over 130 million customers. Now let's hope that Apple won't actually bring the same bandgate and antenna gate issues that the iPhone 6 had to its iPhone 12 lineup, because that, my friends, would really suck. Now, I say I hope that doesn't happen, because apparently the cost of repair for the iPhone 12 are actually higher than those of the previous iPhone 11. Now, expect to pay a whopping 549 buckaroos for the iPhone 12 Pro repairs. And I truly hope that this is not how people are supposed to hold their iPhone 12s, as I'm showing right now over screen, just to avoid antenna issues, because if you remember, you're the one holding it wrong, and I especially targeted those with iPhone 12 Pro devices in the previous news topic that I covered because of the higher repair costs, because more people have actually bought the 12 Pro version rather than the normal or the mini. Might this prove that people don't want to get their hands on small devices? I don't know. What do you think? Sound off in the comments below if you'd like to get some smaller phones, but by the looks of it, it sure doesn't look like it. And if you've wished that this episode will also be shorter, there you have it. It's done. Now, do make sure to check me out on Twitter and visit our crowd website and Discord server. Links to that will be in the video description as per usual, as well as the articles mentioned in this video. This has been Alex with the Red Elk, signing off. Bye.